Hello, we're in Barrett Ministry Studio again, and today we've got a really dear friend of ours. We've known him for 30 years actually. We've just been talking together and sharing a few experiences, and I'd like to introduce to you our great friend Ruud Phaf, and he's from the Netherlands. So Ruud, over to you. I want you to tell us something about your background, please, about how you were brought up, what sort of environment you were brought up in.
Yes, I'm brought up in a Christian family, not born again, but Christian. We go to church, and my parents took me to the church when I was a baby, and I grew up in the church. But there was a problem also in our family. The marriage of my parents, that was not correct. No, it was pushed by my grandpa.
It was what? Pushed?
Pushed,
okay.
Yes, pressed.
Right.
Pressed by my grandpa. My mother did not love my father. No, my mother was pregnant from another man.
Oh, right, okay.
And in the Christian family in Holland, that is very scary to live like that. So my father loved my mother, but my mother loved not my father. So there was a problem in this family. And my father was a policeman.
Okay.
Yes. But he was also a policeman at home. When we grew, and I think I was 6, 7 years old, that he started to beat us. When you bring children to bed, it's normal that you speak a little with your brothers, but it was a regime at home. When he heard this, he warned us, stop, 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 but we go on. Then he came up and he beat us. So he was a policeman outside, but also a policeman inside. So there was not so much love. I grew up on the streets, always on the streets. So I started really a city boy.
Is that because you were trying to escape the family environment, that you were outside?
No, my mother was most of the time out of house.
Out of the house,
yes.
Nobody home.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so I was playing in my city. So I was 9 years that I saw the big guys in the street smoking. Right. So I started to smoke. I was 9 years, and I took them from yes, very nasty, but I do it. So I addicted also on the cigarettes. And then the time came that I was playing, and this is a wonderful testimony already, I was playing in a warehouse, an empty warehouse in my city, and it was 3 floors high.
Oh.
And it was a warehouse where they do the flour, the package with flour with a rope, take it up and store it. And we were playing there, and we take the rope and hang it outside the building. And one of my friends had wooden gloves, and I asked my friend, can I take for a short time, can I loan that to cover my hands, because it's possible that you get blisters. Because you're doing that. That was the biggest mistake in my life. I go like a rocket. I was outside and I go like a rocket, 3 floors down.
Wow.
Yes, with my butt on concrete floor. It was possible that I die immediately because the
spine.
Yes, it goes up.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So I stand up. I can hardly stand up, and I had spots on my right eye there for a long time, and my butt was hurting so much, so much. But my father was a policeman. So be quiet, don't tell about that, because otherwise I get spankies, a lot of spankies also, what I have done there. So God was already saved me there.
Saved your life.
Yes, because He has a purpose.
Yeah.
Sorry, I go maybe up and down. When I was 4 years, we lived in another house, and there was a small canal next to our house. And I was walking on that side, and two girls was walking there, and one of them pushed me. And there was, the canal was down.
Right.
And I cannot swim on that time. No, I was rolling down, and I was stick, a wooden pole, like this size, stick, blocked me from drowning.
Wow.
I was 4 years. I still remember that. 4 years. So God was already protecting.
Been attacks on your life. The devil tried to
Yes.
get rid of you.
Yes, I'm not finished about that. No. When I was 16, I had a scooter.
Yeah.
And I was coming to the traffic lights, and it was red for me. And I hit the brake, and the cable was broke the cable. Then I hit my foot for the back brake, and it broke also. Then what I did, opened the gas handle and speed up, and behind a car was coming like this size, the distance, and passed me behind me. Then came the time that I was going to my work in the morning, and I was driving, and a car came from the other side, and he was going to the marketplace, and I was driving. And what happened? I go there on the parking place together with the car. I don't know how it happened, but like that.
Wow.
So again and again and again, God protected me.
Goodness me, you have some mighty angels with you, Ruud.
Yes,
Don't you? Wow.
but I believe also when God picks you,
Yeah.
He let things happen.
Yeah.
But don't touch him.
Yeah.
Don't touch my child. So when I was 12, I had a wonderful friend. Rob is his name. I was 13, he was 12. And we became friends. And he told me, Ruud, you go to the church, but that is not enough. You need Christ in your heart. And I say, okay. I go to the church, it's enough. Stay away with that. It's okay. But when I was 14 years, I was playing cards with my friends in the church. Playing cards and doing this, playing the cards and yes, and making with a knife drawings in the wooden banks.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Because I thought God is far away from me. Far away. I cannot reach him. So my thinking was so wrong. Because I was far away from God. So, and Rob was starting to pray with his mother for me. And I became 17. I think myself I was 18, but he took me to a meeting on a Friday evening, and I saw there a man in a suit, and he was speaking about Christ and the cross and the blood and that God loves me. But the moment came that I hear Jesus speaking to me. And he came with a question, and he asked me, can I come in your life? I had so many questions. God, are you real? Satan, are you real? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? So I had questions. But the time came that I was very shy. But when I hear Jesus speaking, I stood up and I go to the front and I ask him, Jesus, forgive me, come in my life, make me your child, Lord. And my experience was that the yoke of sin was out. And a love, I never understand that. He filled me with his love, but not love what humans have, but God gave. Wow. I give you something else that I was 15 and the time came that I had a moment that I killed myself because no one loved me. No one wants me. My parents, no, they don't love me. So the time came that only what I know was the name Jesus. And I was shouting and I'm weeping and crying, Jesus, what is this life? I don't want that. I don't want that. I like to make an end of my life. And God was listening to my cry and not knowing that 2 years later, God saved me by grace.
God listens, doesn't
Yes, by grace. And it was on that Friday evening and I came outside. I had so many years lived without Christ, without God, the real God. And I look up and it was dark and I saw the stars. But I saw the stars for the first time as a real creation from the mighty God who created the whole universe. It was mind-blowing for me for the first time. And I was walking and wow.
So you were 17, were you, when
God
came into your life?
Yeah. Later when I became 18, I realized more and more about what God has done in me. Yeah, it was for me a process. Yes. I was still smoking on that time. Yeah, I was real smoking. And I was going for the weekend, I go dancing I go out. But also I share the gospel there. Yes, early. Yes, I was saved and baptized and I shared the gospel there. But it was no longer my place for me. No. So God took me away there. Yeah. But there I met my wife, Marja.
Did you? Right.
Yes.
What, in the dance hall, you mean?
Yes. And we have a real, old-fashioned a relationship before marriage, old-fashioned, 3 years.
Really?
Yes, and I was in the military also, so we had to wait. Yeah. We have to wait.
Yeah. So what happened anyway? Because when I met you, you were out on the streets.
Yeah.
You were giving the gospel on the street corners and outside train stations. And
oh, yes.
I always thought, who is this man who keeps standing outside and getting mocked? So what led you into that sort of a life?
God gave me a vision, a night vision, and to show me that place where I had to go. So I saw a parent with the letter H to go to heaven, and another letter H on the perron for going to hell. Right. So in this vision, I was standalone on the perron, and on the other side it was very crowded with people who were going to hell. The train was coming, and it happened 3 times that the train was full packed and going to hell, and I was watching, and I saw the wires closely for a long time, closely to each other, but in the end, it was going to the fire on the left side, and where I was on the right side was going to the light Christ. So, and it was happened 3 times, and I asked Jesus, when comes the time that I can come to you, that I can, in the train, I come to you? And Jesus said to me, it's not on you that you come along to me, but you will bring many with you.
Okay.
And God said to me, my child, what is it that you already not be there? And when God said to me that was the point of no return. So I go. Every Thursday evening, when the mall was open till 9 o'clock, I had a day job also, changed my clothes, and speeding up to the mall with all my stuff and share the gospel there to everyone who were listening. And so I had a wonderful time for 17 years.
That's great. So everybody listened to you. They were all rapt.
So I challenged them. Really, I challenged them. But I had also my temptations and strugglings.
Yeah.
Because there are people where also people spit on me.
Right.
And the time came that I was all over the spit.
Okay. Right.
Yes. And some men had a knife and they said to me, I will kill you. I will kill you. And I say to them, don't worry. It's okay. But I say, with every drop of blood I lost, I will love you till the end, because it's the love of God. So, and people throw stones to me, but there was only love for them, and that's only possible when Christ is really in you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You've got to be called for something like that, haven't you?
it's not for everyone. No, it's God had picked me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in that time, I was 24, and we had Bianca, I think, Bianca, our firstborn, that I get my lung collapsed on the left side. My lung collapsed, and I want to stop also with smoking. I was struggling. And
you were still smoking while you were going out and witnessing on the street.
Yes, on that time, yes. But I know God wants that. He don't want that. Yeah. He wants to be clean, not addicted to anything. No. So my lung collapsed, and I was going in the hospital. I was breathing like this. But I was still rolling a cigarette. But now it comes. I was for 3 days in the bed. Yes. God healed my lung on my left side. And I was going out of the hospital and I was free of smoking. God has done more. He healed my lung. Right. But set me free also of that addiction. Yes. And when I came on my work, the smell, I reject that.
Wow.
But my enemy, Satan, came in the night, 3 times in the night, and let me smoke. When I was sleeping, I don't smoke it, but it looks like. So he was doing his best to take me away from God and pull you back. Yes, but that was not happening. So the time came that my right lung collapsed. Yes, and I believed for my healing. So my right lung healed also. But I say to Christ, Lord, I have 1 pair, left and right. I have no more lungs. I believe I'm healed now. Not knowing that my left lung collapsed again. Not knowing that altogether 7 times my lungs collapsed. 2 times left and 5 times on the right side. I have to believe 7 times, again, 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 and again. So God tested me. Is your faith real? When I let happen, that your lungs collapsed again and again and again, do you still trust me? Do you still love me? Do you still with me? The easy way is this. After the second, God, no, I cannot believe that you will allow that. I stop with you. That's the easy way. That's the easy way.
Get angry with God.
Yes, yes.
But you're not the only one that's suffered. I believe Marja
Yes.
has suffered many times, hasn't she?
Yes, Marja, my wife, when I was recovering from my 7th lung collapsing, Marja received breast cancer. She had a soft tumor. It was not found by herself, but she received an invitation from the hospital. Normally, a woman received in Holland an invitation to go to the hospital to check out when you are in the 50s. And Marja was 49. So, and she get the results at home, and a soft tumor in the right breast. And before we go to the hospital for the interview, we pray and ask God, will you use this very dangerous illness, cancer, will you use it? So we go to the hospital, and Marja said, okay, I go for that treatment. And when she had the treatment, she was already a blessing there in that hospital for other women with the same problem. So my wife was losing her hair. She became bald, all the hair was gone, and she used a shawl to cover the head. And she had an operation. The lymphs here was cut out. And when she had done that, my wife got also lung embolism. Both lungs beneath are full of blood dots. One is enough. When it goes up in your veins, in your brain, you die. And her lungs was full.
Oh dear.
And it was a mistake from the hospital. So one of the sisters there, the nurses...
Because they hadn't seen it, you mean?
No.
Okay.
She see my wife, you are not well because you... So they put her in a wheelchair and they check it out. So for a whole week she was in the hospital for that. Then she came out. Then I think a month or so later, she got wound fever from that operation. Oh. Wound fever. Right. It was speeding up. In no time she was climbing to 40, and I said to my wife, Marja, we have to go to the hospital. She said, oh, Ruud. I said, no, let us go. So the doctor in the hospital told me, he said, Mister, when you come 16 hours later, we can do nothing anymore for your wife. Your wife will come in a coma and she's gone. 16 hours. So first, she had the breast cancer. She has both breast, praise the Lord. So first the cancer, then the lung embolism. Yes, and then also the wound fever. So the attacks on my wife and me. So I was walking on faith, but I was almost drowning on the company here, because we are so tested in our faith. Yeah. My colleagues don't want me. One of them, they want me dead. So I was almost drowning, and I was weeping in my quiet time with God, and Lord, help me, help us. Not knowing that God was preparing us both to take us both to a higher level, to be useful in His hands. So
while all this is going on, you're going out on the mission field, aren't you, to other countries?
Yes, and
so Marge is letting you go because it's dangerous for you to fly in this condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think you told me that the doctors warned you that
Yes.
you would die.
Yes. I had an interview on the telephone with my lung doctor, the specialist, and said, "Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that." But I put down the horn and I was dancing with my hands up. I said, "Lord, thank you for my healing, and I will go where you sent me." Because normally when you have that lung condition and you sit in an airplane, sky high, there is thin air.
Yeah.
The air pressure is different.
Yeah.
So my lungs will collapse and I will die in the plane. Really, I die in the plane.
So what sort of length of journeys have you been on then in the plane? Where do you go?
My longest journey is the south of China.
Right.
South Africa.
So how many hours on a plane is this that you're talking about?
13 hours. Direct flight from Amsterdam to Guangzhou in the south of China is 13 hours. But God is with me. And in the plane I speak with people and speak about the love of God and Christ, and I cannot help myself. No, because let me explain something. When I go back, when I was 4 years old and I was go to kindergarten school, my speaking was not well. I was like when other children faced me, I started red-headed and no, I had a big problem. But when God filled me with His Holy Spirit, now everywhere where I come, the pastor who invite me to say, "Ruud, you have to stop now. They have to put me out." So there was a time in my life I cannot speak. But now they put me out.
Now you can't stop.
No, they have to stop me.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
But it seems to me like you've got a very big heart. You might have collapsed lungs, but you've got a very big heart because God's put a love there for people, hasn't He?
Yeah.
And you keep going to different countries.
Yes. I was also in Pakistan 2 times.
Dangerous country.
Yes, but God spoke to me. And before I was going, I think 10 weeks before I was going, that God said to me, "In my grace, I have received you, but in my love, I will send you." I said, "Lord, that's you, and I will receive my visa." So I struggling a little bit on that time, but I came in Pakistan, not knowing that there was in the beginning of Ramadan, and Pakistan is an Islamic state. And here is the miracle of God. I had open air meetings in the city in an Islamic state, and the gospel was going all over the place. And even the local men from the government came to me and asked me, "Mister, can you pray for me?"
Oh, wonderful.
And I prayed with him. And I asked the pastor who invited me to come, "Please ask this man, what is his experience in his heart?" And he say, "Peace, I feel peace." There were 3 policemen also there. And after the service, I was going to them. And God opened the heart, and God showed me the pain from the people. Yeah. And the highest ranked policeman start to weep. He start to weep. And I pray with this policeman. Who am I? Who am I?
Broken vessel, sounds like broken vessel.
So I go where God sent me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for me. Ministry, I never seek it.
No.
No, because, no, I cannot speak well. My English is not so good. My knowledge, Lord, please take someone else. When I was on the mall there, the time came.
Where were you?
In Utrecht, in my city,
right,
the big mall where I stand for 17 years.
Yeah.
The time came that it was not allowed anymore to stand in the open with tracts and my Bible.
Okay.
So I had to put it away and put it in my handbag. And my handbag was always open. My Bible and tracts was there. I had a wonderful conversation with someone, but in my left eye I saw something was happened. There came a man with under half liter Coca-Cola, open it and do it in my handbag. In my handbag. But I let it go. Then I was finished and I saw my handbag and all the cola was coming out. So I take my handbag and my board, because normally I have a board with something on that I used, and go to the machine and where my car is parked and go home. I came home, I entered the house, I go to the kitchen and put my handbag on the kitchen table. Here was a miracle. All the tracks was full of the Coca-Cola. I take my Bible out. Not a drop. Not a drop. It's paper, it's only paper. Yeah. But God was watching for me, for that time, over that word. Don't touch my word. That's what he is saying. I take it out, not a drop. And it was open. The man in question was doing that. How is that possible? Tell me.
Wow.
God was watching over his word.
Yeah. So you have a ministry, Streetlight Ministries?
Streetlight Ministries, yes.
So people can contact you on this?
Yes, that's possible.
Yeah. So what's the email address?
The email address is info@streetlightministries.nl.
Okay, and you have a website, do you?
Yes, www.streetlightministries.
And this shows all the work that you do?
Yes.
The places where you
yes.
go, photographs?
Yes, it's also in English, and there is also a part of my testimony.
Wonderful.
Yes, because my testimonies, what I have experienced in life, it's so much.
Yeah.
It's not possible to put that there. It's not necessary
not
also.
Not at all. So I'd like to encourage people who are watching this to just look Ruud up on his website. As we say, in a few minutes you can't give a lifetime. But I'd be grateful if you would pray for Ruud, him and his wife. It's just a couple here that are serving God together, and they could do with your support, prayer support, financial support, whatever support. Bless you, and thank you very much for watching today.